Hi everyone, Kerry here, just giving you a few ideas on different art supplies to use and cleaning tips for your airbrush. You can see here I've used Liquitex airbrush medium and acrylic paint. If you can pre-mix it in a little dish and pour it into the airbrush cup, that's probably a better idea, but for video purposes I've just poured it straight in and mixed it with a little paintbrush. Also, when mixing your acrylic paint and airbrush medium, make sure that it's nice and fluid. Otherwise, it will clog up the needle and your airbrush and it just won't work. Okay, once you've picked your stencil, just pop it down on the page. This page I've prepared with gesso, and once you've popped that stencil on, you can just go ahead and spray. Okay, using household cleaner, surface cleaner, I've just sprayed a little bit into the cup, and in a bucket of water you just press the airbrush. That will clean out the needle and the nozzle, but don't forget to rinse in clean water afterwards as well. After cleaning out your airbrush cup, I decided to try watercolor. Now all I did was spray my pan of Schminky watercolor and with water and add or dribble it into the airbrush cup, and I found it worked really well. I really liked how this came out, so I think I'll be doing this again. Now, I was really thrilled with how the watercolor came out. You can see in the video anyway how beautiful and bright those colors are, and that was just the tiniest amount. Next, I used the Schminky Aerocolor acrylic ink, and of course it's made for airbrushes, but yeah, fabulous bright color, permanent, and yeah, works exceptionally well. This is straight onto watercolor paper. And again, cleaning in between each medium that you use, particularly if you're using inks or acrylics. I find that any of that residual can clog up the needle, and you'll get a mix of colours. So a good clean in between each, and a good rinse as well. Now here you can see I've used Jacquard Dynaflow in the airbrush kit. I've just used the pipette to drop it into the little airbrush cup, and yeah, a little bit of splatter, doesn't matter, it's a background. For a textile artist, this is awesome. Like, of course, Dynaflow is made for fabric, but on the watercolor paper or on the pre-gessoed paper, it works wonderful. Last but not least, I've used a Derwent Inktense block, and yeah, just grate it into one of the little grater cups, add a little bit of water and pour into your airbrush cup. Yeah, a fabulous product to use as well. I hadn't used this in my airbrush before, but again, yeah, it flows really well, and definitely something I'll be using.